Alright, in this video, you're going to see me fighting for my life inside the nether. You're going to see why I hate going to the nether in this mod. It's just absolutely unbearable, but at least you may have a laugh about it. From there, I'm going to collect a bunch of wither skulls. Pretty much plan on making a giant beacon with all the beacon powers. Later on, which is going to take a lot of skulls. I'm going to have to fight the wither a lot, but we'll do those in the next videos. With that being said, sorry for missing the video last week. I got sick, ended up not having the ability to get this video out as soon as possible. If you're new here, thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe, it really helps me out a lot. Other than that, let's get into these red pill stories. The first story. Why are so many young men feeding into the red pill narrative? I am a 25-year-old male and I'm feeling overwhelmed by the increasing amount of men promoting red pill ideologies and supporting extremely misogynistic figures. It seems like this rhetoric is spreading more every day. Even some of my liberal friends are starting to repeat these ideas. It feels like more and more people around my age are shifting toward hating women and believing men need to be these almighty heroes for society. From what I've noticed, it's often single men who fall into this mindset. I'm curious to hear what everyone else thinks and if you've noticed this happening on other social media platforms. End story. My mindset when it comes to it is I feel like a lot of people, when they don't see things going their way or they feel like they're not getting the attention they deserve or they don't like the way their life is going, they look for any slim of hope as far as getting some sort of validation. In this case, a lot of these single men, like you pointed out, just feel like they're down on their luck. They feel like they don't have any luck with women. They feel like they do a lot. They view themselves highly but feel like they're not getting nothing in return. And then when you turn to the red pill, and it makes you feel like you're supposed to be king. Everything's supposed to be bend to your will. You're a man. You do a lot of the things in the world. Which, that's the thing when it comes to the red pill. It depends on the mindset of the people going into it. There's some things that people say that are true, and there's some things that are so far wrong, it's like this can't be even a real debate. But it really boils down to being a reasonable person, having the proper views on people, having a proper view on relationships, having a proper view on yourself. I feel like a lot of people just have an off balance when it comes to some of those things. They either don't have a high self-esteem, again, they're not happy with their life, and they look for anybody who's going to champion them and be like, you deserve better, you are a king. I like how somebody in the comments kind of brought it up and kind of goes with what I was saying. It's like young men who find themselves in gang life. When no one cares for you at home, or you're not getting the attention you need, and some man that you perceive as strong comes and gives you that attention, you become loyal to them. And that's just what a lot of people fall into, that red pill trap. They feel like these people have the answers. They view them as cool for whatever reason, no matter what they say. It gets to the point where some of them don't even have reasonableness to them. They'll hear somebody say something completely off the wall and be like, yeah, he's right because I like this guy. That's what I'm saying. It gets to a point where people aren't even being reasonable anymore. That's where the danger really comes in. Either unreasonable, extremely misogynistic, or just pinning it just men versus women, just making it hate. Because originally the red pill started out as like a men's support group, but as years gone by, grifters come in, and it turns out the grifters end up being the biggest personalities in it. They just took a hold of everything and just dug it through the mud. But that's a story for another day. I never really considered myself red pill, and never really considered myself a part of the movement. I just kind of have always been an observer and always saw the figureheads kind of crash and burn, get exposed as hypocrites and all that. So I've been fortunate to have male role models in my life that I could look to. I've never really needed to go on the internet and look for a daddy. So again, I'm not talking down on those people that fall into this trap, but I hope things work out for them. The next story. Change my view. I think the red pill is mostly correct about women in society. I'm on the verge of taking the red pill and would like someone to talk me out of it if possible. It's not something that I like, but unfortunately after much thought, I've discovered that what they say is mostly true. Perhaps it shouldn't be relevant, but I am a woman and initially had the same reaction to the red pill as everyone else. I thought they were just a bunch of men that hated women. Even though this might be partially true, I don't think this invalidates what they say. It is very upsetting to me that someone that hates me would be right, but that doesn't make what they say not true. Here is a list of things I think they are right about. We live in a very genocentric society that is sexist against men. To give a few examples, men get longer prison sentences, are convicted at higher rates for the same crimes, and receive longer sentences for killing women than for killing men, i.e., men are disposable. We always assume men to be the aggressor in any encounter. women actually commit more DV than men. Yeah, we always assume it's a man who is abusive. Another example, quotes, "My husband tells me what I should wear." Sounds bad, right? How about, "My wife tells me what I should wear"? The first sounds worse because we assume that a man with some power in the relationship will abuse his power, but we don't assume the same for women. Men have to be extraordinarily careful not to sound like they are blaming women whenever they vent any sort of frustration or emotion. For instance, why do women like that arsehole and not me? Is something that you might find mocked in r/nice guys or r/just neckbeard things. Yet if a woman says something like, "Why does that guy like the hot girl and not me?" she would be most likely receive sympathy. Men have to be super careful in choosing their words, which is ironic because we encourage men to express their emotions more, yet when they do, we shame them for it. Male sexuality is considered shameful. Men are considered creepy if they have a blow-up doll, for an example. Yet, it's perfectly normal for a woman to have a collection of toys. Men are shamed if they date much younger women, even if she is a consenting adult. Perhaps this isn't too controversial, but women are attracted to status, masculinity, power, and good looks. They are more attracted to a man if other women want him. They are no less superficial in their sexual preferences than men. Weakness is unattractive to women. Being an emotional, sensitive man is a death sentence in the dating world. Red pillers have a right to be angry and upset because men are almost always blamed for everything. They are assumed to be the bad guy. The red pill is the one place that they can get relief from this, and where women could be the bad guy for once. I also feel like all women are partially responsible for their state. We should have been the ones to stand up and defend men. Men have a hard time standing up for themselves without being perceived as weak or misogynistic. The more power the man has in a relationship, the longer the relationship lasts, and the more power the woman has, the unhappier the relationship. I don't agree with all red pill views, and I hate that they are correct about these things, but I believe they are more right than the current mainstream narrative. Part of me wonders if I'm just suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, because I spend a lot of time reading their subreddit. Change my view. End story. This is what I mean when I say that there's things that are true that you can't agree with, and then there's things that are just completely off the rails. A lot of the things that you said, yeah, are true as far as people, well, women are attractive to, how men in scenarios like that are always assumed to be the aggressor. A lot of these things are true. But like I said, when it comes to it, there's so many groups that you could tie yourself to on the internet, but choosing the red pill is probably not a good one, because like all the statements you said, some of them may say those things, but then they also say things like all women are whores, all women want is your money, a woman's just a hole, a woman is this, a woman is that. Just, it gets to the point where, like you were saying, it's men's version of making women the villain, when you should want everyone to be equal. You should want everyone to treat everyone right. That should be the goal, not I'm superior to you, you're superior to me. Both sides shouldn't be fighting for that when it comes to relationships. On top of, a lot of red pillars don't go with the share your emotions, share this. It's just a lot of man up, get women, work out, rah rah. That's fine. Working out is fine. Being healthy is fine. Making sure you're financially stable is fine. There's nothing wrong with these things, but those making those the goal, and then women just objects to just control. They say things like, don't live with your girlfriend, don't have a girlfriend, just have a roster of women that you just plug and play with. That's kind of the ideologies that the red pill has. None of these men are in true, real successful relationships. A lot of them, like you said, a lot of these people just, it come across as they hate women. They might not actually hate women. They might just be grifting. They might be saying salacious stuff for views, comments, likes, and attention. With that being said, they rile up the wrong type of people. People actually take them serious, and they actually walk around with these ideas. Because in your own words, these men of the red pill movement finally get to see themselves as the hero and get to demonize the women. You as a woman, why would that be something you're even thinking about, taking that red pill, taking that leap of faith? It doesn't make sense. There are plenty of actual helpful groups out there that are way better than the red pill, that I feel like people can easily look for, find, research, try to find these groups. Because all the big figureheads of the red pill are not good people, just point blank period. But I do agree there are a lot of double standards when it comes to a lot of things. It's about being emotional, about sexuality, but being angry and upset at women and blaming women and then treating women as lesser than in any fashion isn't going to bring any happiness to anybody. So it's my 2 cents on that one. The next story. What's the cringiest thing red pill has made you do or say in public? I never really went down the red pill route, was more a curious observer. But I have one friend, ironically I'm the one who showed him the red pill, who went down the red pill rabbit hole. One incident that sticks out to my mind was him being invited to a girl's house through Bumble. I'm told the boyfriend was there and had a separate room but was okay with them having schmecks. My friend in his induced red pill alpha male state told the guy to his face that his girlfriend was a hoe. My friend was asked to leave immediately. He still regrets it because the girl was actually a really attractive chick. Another thing that rubbed salt to his wound was that another mutual friend he considers a beta male had a similar situation but pulled it off. End story. I mean, he very easily could have stuck the landing. There was no need to do all of that. If that's a life you want to live and these are the couple that decide to let you in, I don't know why he decided to do that. Because that's the thing with these red pill guys. For whatever reason, they have boosted egos in themselves. They view themselves as alpha male. They view themselves as better than. For whatever reason. Like I said, I get confidence. Being confident in yourself is never going to be an issue. Believing in yourself, believing you're the greatest. There's got to be some humility. You can't just go. There's a difference between believing in yourself and viewing yourself as, good, high and mighty, in whatever scenario, and then you just straight dumping on everyone else. There has to be a little bit of humility. There's a little bit of a balance when it comes to humility and confidence. In my opinion. It makes me think of like boxers, for example. Jake Paul had all the confidence in the world, and then he fought somebody that took that away from him. So there's nothing wrong with being confident. There's nothing wrong with believing in yourself. But when you start trashing people for absolutely no reason, it's difference between if it's a one-on-one and you and somebody else are going back and forth, you guys are dissing each other, you're saying you're better than that person, that's different if it's mutual. But if you're just going out of your way just to dog on people, it's always going to be a lose to me. So yeah, your friend's stupid for that. If that's what you wanted, you literally got there and you cock-blocked yourself for your ego because Mr. Andrew Tate told you to. Grown man. The next story. My boyfriend, 31 male, is trying to red pill me, 29 female. We've been dating for 2 years. He's still loving and caring boyfriend. The issue does not lie there. He treats me well. The issue is that he recently delved into the red pill manosphere bullshit. It's driving me nuts. Every time we hang out, whether it's at my apartment or his, he always puts on one of those men's podcasts on YouTube. He tries to get me to watch it with him when I have no interest in doing so. Literally, we could buy food and snacks and plan to watch a movie on Netflix, but end up watching a replay of the whatever podcast. He's a fan of Andrew Tate, Martin Gaines, Andrew Wilson, guys like that. At first, it was annoying to hear, but like whatever. He's a grown man and he can choose to like whatever he wants. But now it's at the point where he's trying to shove his views down my throat. I want to say something so bad, but I don't want to argue. He has really been into the men have certain roles, women have certain roles. Okay, whatever. But the issue is he takes it to another level. He will say things like women should be quiet during arguments. Women should trust a man if he up and decides to relocate the family halfway across the world because the man is the leader and the wife should follow without any objections. He wants men with full control and the women in full submission. It makes me extremely inferior and small. To top it all off, I make much more money than him. This is why I have to post this on an alt account because I can't let him find out. He makes $40K a year as an armed security guard. I make double that, $80K, as a physical therapist. We live in the US. It's just cringe at this point. I would get it if he made all of this money and wanted me to submit to him, but if we were married, I would be the breadwinner by a lot. He wants to portray himself as a high-value man without providing what high-value men provide. I'm unsure of how to go about this. I like him a lot. He's extremely attractive, treats me well, but this is becoming an obsession that I can't get on board with. End story. But somebody topped it off perfectly in their replies. It said, Jesus, not Andrew, the rapist, human trafficker, Tate. Well, you have to sit him down and use his red pill logic. How could you be with a man who isn't the breadwinner? And explain to him you loved him before this BS red pill pile of shite. And he's getting gaslit into a lifestyle he can't afford. Explain to him he's not an incel who needs support because you're there to get his back. Not some failed Muay Thai practitioner who literally is a horrible piece of shite. If he doesn't listen to you, you know what you have to do. Summed it up perfectly. Use his logic against him. Not even that. Just sit him down and tell him how you feel. If he treats you well and he likes you so much, I feel like he should realize what's going on. Especially with all the stuff that's come out about these men all the situations that have blown up in their faces, all the controversy surrounding them. If he still believes that these people are in the right, or these are his role models, or these are people whose advice he should be taking, then I don't know. Like you know what you have to do. Like, you seem like you're being patient. You seem like you're trying to be understanding. You're not dogging him. I would just, like I said, sit him down, talk to him. Do your research on these men, have facts for you, have facts before him, make him realize that that's not a relationship. Yes, as far as going back to roles, yes, the man is the leader of the family. Yes, the woman is submission, but she's supposed to be a help. It's supposed to be a team thing. It's like captain and co-pilot. There's a captain of a plane and then there's a co-pilot. They're a team. They both need each other. They both have mutual respect for each other. In a marriage, it's the same thing. You both love each other. You both should be working towards one goal for the better fulfillment of your family. So if you do plan on marrying this dude, just realize, hey, all this is ours. We're in love with each other. I love you. You should love me. I respect you. You should respect me. Everyone else has their own opinions of the submission thing. So whatever fits your family, do whatever you do. Whatever your religious background is, do what you do. But because that's the way I was raised. The man is the head of the household. Yes, I agree with that. A woman is, yes, to submit to her husband. But I feel like these guys take submit to a whole nother level. Like, the woman is completely not important at all. The woman is just there to bend to the will of the man. That's kind of how the red pill has kind of shaped the word submit. But no, it just means, hey, let me lead. The woman's opinion in a marriage matters as well. A man can't just make these decisions without considering his wife. That's not how relationships work. That's not how relationships should be. That's not a happy relationship. If a man just up and leaves and just takes his family across the country, no woman would be happy with that, just out of the blue. Unless she's an extreme pushover and, so there's levels to it. Yes, it's the man's job to make the final decision on things, but yes, it's also his job to consider his wife, consider his family, and make sure they are involved. Yes, a woman's supposed to submit, but that doesn't make her a slave to her husband or to her man. It just means she has a submissive role. She's not to lead, but to be a co-pilot, to be a helper, to contribute in her way. If you want to live by the gender roles, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. But as far as your boyfriend, I really hope you can sit him down and he understands. Because like I said, it seems like you're happy with him. You like him a lot. You just don't like the rabbit hole he's dived into. And hopefully it's just a phase. This was written 6 months ago, so hopefully you guys are good now. I don't really see any updates, but I also did kind of half-ass looked. But hopefully you guys are doing good. Hopefully things worked out, and hopefully changed for the better. The next story. Red pill is bad. Seeking advice. Red pill ruined my chance. I'm a 25-year-old guy working as a data annotator, and I've been reflecting a lot on something that happened at work recently. I also consume red pill content occasionally. Once you watch one video, YouTube starts recommending more, and before you know it, your feed is filled with that kind of content. One of the messages I picked up from it is that nice guys finish last. That being aggressive, assertive, or tough earns more respect than being a good or friendly person. I've realized now that life is a lot more complicated than that. Being aggressive or angry doesn't automatically earn respect. It's about being assertive in a balanced, confident way. I started a new job in last October, and I was the only guy among 11 women. I've always been a nice, agreeable person, but sometimes the way my coworkers spoke made me feel a little belittled. Maybe they were joking, maybe I misinterpreted it. I'm not sure. I also developed a crush on one of the girls and noticed she seems more interested in talking to a new male coworker. I started feeling frustrated, comparing myself to the other guy and reflecting on the red pill ideas I have absorbed. Part of me felt like being too nice was making me invisible or less respected. Around the time our team was about to get laid off, during those last days, coworkers were goofing off and making a lot of noise. I felt annoyed and decided to act instead of overthinking consequences like I usually do. I got up and yelled at them, told them to stop making noise, and expressed some of my frustration. I didn't plan to be angry, but the emotion came out anyway. At the moment, it felt like standing up for myself. At first it seemed fine, because it was the last day, but we got rehired in January because the project wasn't finished. When we returned, the coworkers I yelled at, including the girl I liked, stopped talking to me. They unfriended me on social media, and now work feels awkward. I've also pulled back from them because of how tense it is. Reflecting on this, I've realized extreme approaches, either being overly nice or letting anger out, don't work. Respect isn't earned through displays of anger or trying to act strong overnight. Assertiveness is a skill that takes practice, especially learning how to express yourself without letting emotions take over. Online content like the red pill videos can subtly change your thinking and behavior without you realizing it. Being liked, respected, or attractive isn't something you can force. It's built over time through your actions and consistency. I still struggle with this situation. I want to be respected, liked, and seen as strong. But I also want to act in a way that aligns with my values and isn't just a reaction to anger or insecurity. Has anyone else experienced a situation where you acted out of character and now the fallout socially or professionally? How do you process it and move forward without letting it occupy so much mental space? End article. Well, there's multiple ways you can go about the situation that you're going through. If you really like these people or you wanted to be a part of these people's lives, then I would just simply apologize. I feel like that's the easiest thing to do, especially just to get rid of the tenseness, all that stuff. Like, hey, I was going through something that day. I mean, you don't even gotta full blown tell the truth. Just, hey, I was going through something that day. I apologize for yelling at you guys, and then leave it up to them. You can't really do much other than that if you want things to go back to somewhat of normal. But if you don't care, then just let it be what it is. It's work. There's two types of people at work. There's people who just see it as a job. I'm not here to make friends. I'm just here to make money, provide, and go home. And then there's people who actually enjoy the social aspect of work. So it just depends on the type of person you are. If you want things to go back to normal, stand the olive branch. I messed up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you guys. Simple. Something similar happened to me in high school because in one of my classes, if I didn't have none of my immediate friends in my class, I was just a quiet kid. I didn't interact with anybody. School it is what it is. I wasn't trying to make friends. I wasn't trying to make new friends, essentially, in these classes where my friends were not already in it. And I remember these girls were going crazy. The teacher's just sitting there, like, telling everyone to shut up. No one's listening. And it's kind of the same situation. I say, yo, shut up. And people were like, damn, this dude talks. It was crazy. But in my situation, I didn't give a damn about these people, so I didn't feel the need to apologize. I just told everyone to shut up and let it be what it is. But you, like I said, the opposite. You care about these people, so I would just apologize. But I do like the points of view kind of self-reflecting and seeing what went wrong or why things are wrong. Like being overly aggressive isn't going to work out. It's just life. You just learn from your experiences. I feel like a lot of the red pill just takes all the very, very bad in as far as life and then just go to the extreme as far as a solution. Oh, girls don't like nice guys? Be an asshole is the solution. Oh, girls don't like broke guys? You need to be a millionaire and have a Bugatti and a mansion and a yacht. It's like there's no balance when it comes to the red pill. It's just extreme after extreme after extreme. Oh, you're struggling to get a girlfriend? Don't worry about getting a girlfriend. Have a bunch of 304s lined up for you to knock down. It's like I said, just extremes. And the red pill just reinforces a lot of negative stereotypes. Oh, you're feeling sad? Man up. Don't worry about that. There's just levels to it. Like you pointed out, there's just a balance to life. The red pill is just the extreme to the extreme, in my opinion. Another thing that I've seen throughout some of these articles I read as far as replies go is people kind of bringing up the point that the red pill views respect as fear. They feel like if people fear you, people respect you. Anger and aggression get that fear out of people, and in turn, they think that fear is respect. And that's just simply not true. Absolutely not true. To be respected is for people to view you as highly, to look at you with confidence. It's not fear. There's no balance of being humble. There's no balance of being respectable. It's just be aggressive, make people fear me. And then when people fear me, they'll respect me. And that's just not how life is. Life is just always going to be a balance. Push and pulls at the right times. Give love, take love at the right times. It's always going to be a balancing act. That's what I don't like about these groups on the internet where they just take extremes and make that the law. And then people who just don't know any better, people who are ignorant, people who are looking for a daddy online, or just a male figure, just take it, just eat it, and just take it to the moon. And then their life doesn't get any better, and it's just a cycle. They find the next guy to hop onto and, muck up their life. Overall, the point being, you don't need to find a daddy on the internet. Just look at yourself, learn from your experiences. Hey, I didn't like this about my life. And just look within. I feel like people are too quick to just be unhappy. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I feel like people look to everyone else but themselves before. Because when I was in college, one of the things my professor said to me that stuck with me to this day, and I live by it, is don't ask me for help until you looked for the answer yourself. Don't ask me how to do something until you try to figure it out for yourself. Then you can ask me. People don't even try to figure things out for themselves. They don't even try to reflect on their experiences. They say, hey, I asked this girl out, she rejected me, red pill. Like, dude, just chop things up to the game and move forward in life. People just let these bad moments dictate their life and how they're going to move forward. From my experience, bad experiences, let them go. Let it be a learning lesson. Avoid them. If it's something that's unavoidable, learn from the experience and try to do better. That's it for my soapbox. That's all I got to say. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. This channel is growing so much. It's making me so happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you're having a good week. Be good to yourself. That's all I got to say. Take it easy. Peace.